Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another broadcast of the Lawrence Report. On tonight's broadcast, we will be discussing Candy Cane Lane. Now, when I saw this trailer right here a while back, I was beyond excited. And now I finally got a chance to see the movie this past weekend, and my excitement actually held up. This movie stars Eddie Murphy, Tracy Ellis Ross, and was directed by the great Reggie Hudlin. Now, let me tell you a brief synopsis about Candy Cane Lane. Let's get into it, y'all. This adventurous comedy follows Christmas lover Chris Carver and his family as they compete in the annual neighborhood house decorating Christmas contest. The winner will receive over $100,000 in a cash prize. After intentionally making a deal with the mischievous Elf Pepper, she casts a spell that brings the 12 days of Christmas to life. To prevent the disaster before Christmas, Chris and his family must break Pepper's spell before it is too late. For me right here, it's been over 30 years actually, believe it or not, since Reggie Hudlin and Eddie Murphy did a movie together. Their last movie was Boomerang. So when I saw that those two was going to unite again, I knew I had to check out this movie right here. I can't believe it's actually been 30 years. You would have thought by now that they would have, got together and got some other projects throughout the years. But hey, here we are. Candy Cane Lane comes on Amazon. And I absolutely love Eddie Murphy in this right here. I feel like he was quick. He was charming. He was witty. He had me rolling. This is Eddie Murphy at his finest, in my opinion. He brought the funny along with Tracy Ellis Ross with her role as, she plays a mother of the Carver family, and she's trying to navigate the system as well, when it comes to jobs and, relationships with her husband and her children. She was spot on too. She was very, very good in her role as well. But for me, it was all about the world building of Candy Cane Lane, from the colors to the way they built the set out there in California, to just getting involved into the Christmas spirit. I think without a doubt, this right here is a instant Christmas holiday classic, in my personal opinion, because that's how good I thought that this movie was right here. And I must say, I think a lot of people will see themselves in Chris Carver's shoes, right? Unfortunately, a lot of times during the holiday seasons, jobs tend to, I hate this, in America with capitalism, all those things, but I hate how a lot of times during the holiday season, people get laid off from their job, right? And that's what happened to Chris Carver in this movie right here. He got laid off. And, as a man, it's hard telling your family, telling your wife, your kids that, I just got laid off. Because for one, you're the breadwinner. You're looked at as a superhero of the family. So it's a challenge to do that right there. But he did have to come clean to his family that he ended up getting laid off. So I feel like a lot of people would definitely be able to just relate to that aspect of the film right there in itself. So in the movie, Chris Carver and his wife, they tried to provide a loving home for their family, right? And their kids are basically teenagers. So you know how it is when teenagers are starting to get older. And for Chris, he wants his daughter, who basically runs track, he wants her to go to USC, but she had dreams of going to Notre Dame, right? So it's kind of like a lot of times we want our kids to follow in our footsteps. Like, hey, well, your uncle, he went to USC. Don't forget your Aunt Mary, she went to USC, but that's not always the case how some kids want to follow in their shoes, right? And even with their son, they're trying to, get their son going on education. But in his mind, he loves the music, right? So see in the movie that he plays this instrument, he makes beats, things of that nature right there. But again, a lot of times parents want the children to follow in their footsteps. But we see these two kids right here, they're like, hey, this is our life. If we want to run track and we want to go to a different college from y'all, if we want to do music, y'all have got to let us do that. So again, that's one of the many reasons why I can see how this family, is relatable to real life, everyday people. So now that we got that out of the way, let's get down to the nitty gritty, right? So earlier we said that, Chris Carver is trying to win this money for his family, but he has to make this deal with this elf, right? And he has to collect these 40 rings while trying to secure this money for the family. And he goes through all these crazy adventures in his movie trying to collect the rings. He does eventually end up collecting them, but he gets some help from Mr. Black Santa himself, Mr. David Allen Greer, who makes an appearance in the movie. And he kind of helps Chris get over the hump of the situation that Chris is in, right? Now, I almost forgot to mention, there are these three or four, I believe, figurines in this movie right here. Basically, they're like miniature Christmas ornaments, right? And they're trying to help Chris Carver, achieve this $100,000 cash prize for his family, right? And for me, some of the characters, it was Nick Offerman as Pip. He was in here. Robin Thede as Cordelia. She was absolutely hilarious. Love her. Chris Redd as Lamplighter Gary. This guy was on 10 the entire. I'm laughing now because I think about some of the lines that he was saying. But this guy here is on 10 the entire time. Like, he was not letting up. And of course, we had DC Young Fly. He did not disappoint as well. He had me dying. So they had just the right amount of characters in this movie right here, along with Tracy Ellis Ross and Eddie Murphy as well. They had a great supporting cast to help you keep laughing throughout the entire movie. It was nice. It was short. It wasn't too long. I think this is a Christmas classic that you definitely can play for your family. And it was smart of Reggie Hudlin to market this right here on the first day of December, because typically on the first day of December, people start thinking about hot chocolate, Christmas songs, caroling, and all those things right there. So shout out to Reggie Hudlin for him and his team, the marketing team, for putting that right there on the December 1st of the month. It also should be noted that Danielle Pinnock, she was in this right here. She basically was playing like this charismatic news anchor who basically was delivering commentary throughout the movie. It was her and her other news anchor buddy. They was basically navigating everything in this movie, and they did not miss a step as well. So for me, I think Candy Cane Lane would definitely be one of those movies that, like I said earlier, we can definitely call this, in my personal opinion, a certified Christmas classic, just because the current meaning of what it means when it comes to Christmas and the holidays, and doing everything you would do for your family. This man Chris was willing to risk it all. He's willing to, if he ends up becoming a miniature figurine, well, that's what he had to do, and he did what he needs to do. But yeah, great movie, great laughs. Make sure y'all check it out. It's on Amazon Prime right now. If you have any comments, please leave them below. I enjoy this film. And as always, thank you for tuning in to The Lawrence Report.